Hello visuals and welcome back to the Visual Guy podcast with me, with yours truly. No Chris this week. Again, another work reason. I was at work all day Saturday. He couldn't quite come down late on. He had family stuff. So it's just me. And I won't make it too long because, like I said, I'm pretty sure you can't be arsed with the fat man just rambling on by his Todd. But anyway, visuals, we have the first episode of Loki drop on Wednesday just gone, because Wednesdays are now the new Fridays, as Tom Hiddleston said himself in the trailer. And oh my god, wow, Loki episode 1 was fucking beautiful. And be warned, there will be heavy spoilers in this. I'm gonna break down the episode, give you what I thought of the episode just as a whole, and then we're going to get Easter eggy, we're going to get potential conspiracy, we're going to get potential, starting to dot the I, what is it, cross the T's and dot the I's. We're going to make our own little spider web, because this, in one episode, was more Easter eggy, for me anyway, than any of the WandaVision episodes, and they were hectic. And Falcon and Winter Soldier was a nice steady break. We had conspiracies with WandaVision, then we had a nice steady break with Falcon America Winter Soldier, because that was very cut and dry on what it needed to do. And now we're back in conspiracy corner with Loki. And Kevin Feige has admitted and stated that this will have a bigger impact on the future of the MCU than any of the two other shows, because we're getting more in depth with the flow of time and space shenanigans, and the TVA being there, and oh my god, visuals. It was just fucking beautiful. So yeah, I actually do have two and you can probably hear my notes rusted. 2.5 sheets worth of notes. I can't remember what order I've got going on, but we'll quickly tell you what I think about the show as a whole, and an introduction to the show of Loki and sort of what the theme might be going forward. And I'm going to say straight away, again, I'm biased, again, I'm optimistic, but this is another instant hit from Disney and Disney Plus and Marvel Studios and what they're doing. It was a 10 out of 10 episode. It was absolutely outstanding. Loki, Tom Hiddleston's Loki, will always be beloved. He's fucking awesome. He is, again, if you think about it as well, one of the OG characters of the MCU and stuff. The first 4, second 4, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers, and when he get killed off in Infinity War, sorry. Of a couple of stints here and there. It's just fucking amazing character. And before we get started as well, even though we're already 2 and a bit minutes fucking in, remember, you guys probably have, this is multiple viewings. I watched it again. You guys have probably maybe noticed stuff that I haven't noticed, so definitely let us know in the comments below of this beautiful podcast what you think you saw and what I might have missed, because I do have a potential little inkling of a villain tease and whatnot. But yeah, the episode was amazing. We spent most of the time in the TVA, and literally it was a way to set up of who the TVA are, and what they're about, what they're protecting, who they're working for, why they're doing all of this, why they're chasing down Loki. But the TVA, the TVA, obviously the ones that are protecting the flow of time, the time variant. I'll get my words up properly. Time variant authority. There we go, Dan, you can speak. Again, introducing Owen Wilson. Amazing portrayal by him in this episode. We'll get to his character in one of my sort of like Easter eggy sort of looks. And yeah, all throughout was amazing. It was a very Thor Ragnarok-y sort of feel. It had its very comedic moments. Then it had its really heavy moments. Obviously, Loki looking at his potential future and seeing the likes of his mother dying, Odin passing away, himself dying at the hands of Thanos. It was very hard and heavy. Loki up to his normal shenanigans, being the god of mischief as he is. But it was a great way to set up the show, to establish who the TVA are for people who aren't familiar with with the history in the comics and stuff, and a great way for us to have our 6 part series of Loki set up beautifully in a way to go. I enjoyed it all through. Like I said, I got very emotional with the flash forward bits, even though they're to us flashbacks, but to this Loki it was a flash forward. I got very emotional. I laughed at it. I was very intrigued. I started to get my conspiracy hat on. It just ticked all the boxes all the way around. And again, I know I'm very optimistic, and I know I'm very biased, but yeah, amazing. I'm so happy we've got Wednesdays, because Wednesdays are shit day of the week, but now they're a mint day of the week, at least for the next, after this, the next 5 weeks going forward. But should we get down to so which notes shall I go for? I can't remember what order. We'll just go in whichever order I've sort of sort of gone off this. We'll break down our Easter eggs, and I guess we'll just go from there. Right, the first thing I've got with my notes here, I don't think this was my first sheet, but we'll go through here. The proper flow of time. Did you notice as well, visuals, when they were displaying it and they were putting it all out, it was very, very much like how the Ancient One described it to Bruce Banner in Endgame when he travelled back in time to get the Time Stone, and she drew out this line about, oh, you know, you destroy the flow of time and all this shenanigans. It was very, very, very reminiscent of that. It was fucking it was fucking awesome. My next little note, I've got the Timekeepers. Who are the Timekeepers? Again, if you're new to the show, you got a fantastic look at who they are and what they are and stuff. But my note to put down, the Timekeepers, free knowing cosmic beings, brought peace to the multiverse just because there was the multiverses were clashing with each other and fighting to take control. They created the one true sacred timeline. They explained that already. I guess I didn't really need to write that as a note, but it's there as a note anyway. One big thing, I'm surely jumping ahead of my notes here, but one massive thing, this is where I will admit I am getting I put it up on my Facebook and stuff when I seen it and when I think I noticed it. If you look at sort of like the weird sort of like tapestry artwork or whatever in the TVA, one of the logos, I swear to God, I've looked at this image, I've gone on Google, found an image of it, I've looked in, I've closed it, and there's a couple of other people online who are saying this as well. One of the logos, it looks like the classic comic book style of Kang the Conqueror. It really fucking does. I swear to God. You'll notice it was when they're walking through like the hallways and you can see like the red. I don't actually know if they're like bannery flag sort of painting type things, whatever the fuck they are. But oh my fucking God, Kang the Conqueror, is he coming out? Because he's confirmed by the actor who was in Lovecraft Country, I can't remember his name now. He is confirmed for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, but could he be set up in this? Who knows? But that's not the villain I was teasing to. We'll get to that in a sec. But honestly, visuals, Kang the Conqueror is coming. The TVA, okay? Again, I've written down the TVA, Time Variant Authority. I also pointed out, because I thought it would be quite fun to point out to Chris, but they first appeared in 4. So it's quite cool that, they appeared in 4, but Loki's the one introducing them. Loki in 4, obviously heavier tied. But they've appeared in Fantastic Four. Agent Mobius being the character that's made his appearance and stuff with the TVA plenty of times, played by Owen Wilson. Amazing. Here's another big bit that I thought was really fucking interesting. Nexus event, right? A Nexus event. They kept saying there's a Nexus event occurring. Nexus event occurring. Nexus events branches into the sacred timeline, all that shenanigans, right? But the word Nexus event, well, the two words, was the ones that really stuck out to me. That was really fucking crazy, because if you remember, at the end of WandaVision, it is it stated that Wanda is a Nexus being. Are they going to make this some sort of, a Nexus event is caused by Nexus beings? So for WandaVision to maybe tap into the multiverse of madness, she could be causing a Nexus event, because obviously she wants to disturb the flow of time in some capacity, I imagine, to try and get her kids back. So yeah, make of that what you will, but I thought that was fucking extremely interesting. Okay, here's another one, right? I don't know if I pronounced it right, because it's the first time I've ever heard of this brand, but this is where I'm going to get to villain conspiracy. Kablooey gum. I've never heard, at least I don't think I've ever heard of that in comics. Ignore the chewing gum. The logo itself, to me, was fucking interesting, because it had this character of a blue and purple face, and again, comic book fans will know of a character with a blue and purple face in this sort of he would this would be his background. This is where you would find him doing his mischief and that. And to me, I got a very Nightmare vibe, the ruler of the realm of dreams, who is potentially set to be in the next Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, or Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness. I thought that was fucking interesting. Are we about to get a reveal of Nightmare? Is a Nightmare among us? Because I know they said, that who's this villain running around? It's you, Loki. It's not that obvious. They're not going to just give it. I mean, Loki might be around there doing his thing and going nuts and whatever. But yes, it's fucking crazy. I honestly think that we are going to see Nightmare, and that was a slight little hint and nod to him. And it's a weird thing as well, because we get a second reference to Nightmare. I'm trying to read my notes because I've realised as well I've put it as a second thingy. Loki actually does say, Loki called the TVA headquarters a nightmare. Mobius said, in reply to this, that's a different realm. So Loki actually also pointed out that the TVA headquarters is a nightmare. And Mobius said to him that that's a different realm. Nightmare being the realm of the rule of the realm of dreams. Am I being weirdly conspiratorial here? Am I being dodgy there? I don't fucking know. Another big point I want to take out. This one I don't think will impact the show too much. This is just what I took on. I had to stop the pause on Loki's intake form because there's quite a few things there. Loki, Laufey's son. It's cool, obviously, if anybody's ever wondered, oh, why Laufey's son? Obviously, he's not the son of Odin, is he? He's the son of Laufey. Like Thor, Odin's son. He's Thor, son of Odin. Loki, Laufey's son. His dad is Laufey. If anybody thought that's a bit of a weird, why is it called that? Obviously that's why. I thought it's quite cool that they put sex, fluid. Is that maybe referring to that there was a female Loki running around in the comics? I think it was like back in 2003ish, 2004, 5 maybe. There was a female Loki. Are they referring to that? Fuck knows. Who will know? I won't know. Will you know? She was running around, more importantly, in the sector, because I've written this down, in sector, I'll get my words wrong. She was running around in sector 1900 to 2099. If you guys remember, Marvel back in the 90s had the run of the 2099 stuff with Spider-Man, Punisher, X-Men and all that good shenanigans. Is there any sort of weird connection? Probably not. I'm just pointing out his little Easter eggs and what it, are fun for the comic book readers out there to have a little look at. Coulson gets his first real MCU reference since his, quote unquote death, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a weird MCU show, which, it wasn't directly in the MCU, but obviously it is the MCU, but there's no real acknowledgement. Yes, we got Sam Jackson in an episode and other shenanigans, but they've never, for Captain America, Tony Stark and all that, don't really, they think he's dead still. They think, but this was our first real reference to Coulson still potentially being about. And obviously we've seen the Avengers, the 4 films. Loki saw his death at the hands of Thanos. And a fun one, D.B. Cooper, the mystery is solved. It was done by Loki, because Thor dared him and he fucked out the plane in the Bifrost. That's why he miraculously was able to get away. A couple of things that I've written down on my notes here, and I've put this all in capitals so you know it's important. We had a drawer full of Infinity Stones, and of course it means nothing in the TVA. It gets pointed out that some of the people that work there use them as paperweights. So we got lots of Infinity Stones. We get what looks to be an early sort of Stark reactor inside of that drawer. The biggest thing that I wanted to point out is there's something, I can't tell you what it is. It's this weird little thing, but it has mystical writing in it, and it looks like it's from the Book of Kamar. If you remember that from Doctor Strange, we have similar sort of writing, so we've seen this text pop up before, and I feel like we saw that a little bit in WandaVision as well. And the other thing is, which I couldn't point anything to, but there was a random an old war medal. I couldn't tell you what that means, but I seen it and I thought, if you've got it in that drawer, it's there for a reason. So that might be one that you visuals might have to pop out to me. One really, 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 really cool thing is remember when Loki's looking at the future of his life, and then the tape, the projector runs out, because that's obviously where his life ends. So there's no more clips to do. If you look carefully when the reel's out, it says 616, and 616 again, if Marvel comic fans will know, is our realm, is our universe, is our Earth. It's the main universe and whatnot that we follow in the Marvel comic books. Obviously, because 2099 is set on a different universe and blah blah blah. So yeah, I thought that was quite a fun little one to point out. Where else am I at on my little notes? So we're slowly getting through there. We're getting through there. Here's a fun little fact to spin off the last one. Technically, the MCU is Earth 19999. But I think we're basing the MCU is 616. I think we are. Yeah, the Tesseract is useless inside of this inside the TVA. It's just what's the best way? It's a paperweight. It means nothing. They've got plenty of Infinity Stones there. It can't do anything. There's no point in Loki, because he said things pretty much useless down there, because the TVA are extremely badass. And Loki's not going to get out of this one just using the Tesseract. It's no good to him. Another one that I thought was quite cool, the Mongolia Desert Escape, when Loki, we see where he actually goes from the scene from Endgame, and he, boom, lands in the Mongolia Desert. it was quite reminiscent of the Tony's very own Desert Escape when he come out and he's landing in the sand and there's bits of armor everywhere. It just seemed very reminiscent of that. Classic TVA agents in the comics are mostly clones, right? Okay. Oh yes. Okay. I see what I've done in this note. Classic TVA agents in the comics are traditionally clones. The majority of them are clones, and they're literally bred to complete their purpose. Of what it is they're doing, so they're protecting the sacred timeline. They're made and bred just for that. But in the show, we see a lot of different TVA agents from different diversities and stuff. Men, women, black, white, Asian, all that carry on. So that's quite. I mean, I guess it's just because they don't need them to be clones. I guess they didn't need it to impact this story, this way they're taking this version of the TVA and stuff. Who else we got? Loki's arrival at the TV. Oh, they've written that down there. Loki's arrival at the TVA was very reminiscent of Thor Ragnarok, and sort of when he was, he gets to Scar and he's getting ready for the arena and stuff, and he's trapped and he's getting his haircut. It was very reminiscent of all of that stuff. And I will point out Loki's arrival. Did we see Peggy Carter? This is another one that I've seen make the rounds quite heavily. Did we see Peggy Carter in the opening sort of shots of Loki episode 1? I think we did, and I'm not quite sure what it means yet. I need to see another episode and start making these my mind conspiracies thread together and whatnot. Who else have I got down here? Loki versus Loki, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yes, obviously Owen Wilson, Mobius states, can you help us catch this guy who's doing these Nexus events? It turns out it's you. So is that trying to say the person at the end of episode 1 with the hood up, all the fire and that, is it Loki? Personally, yeah, that one might be Loki, but I don't think he's the ultimate big bad of this episode. I don't think we're going to get this big conclusion that it's Loki. It's just another variant of a Loki. I mean, there might be multiples. They might have to fight a few, might have to chase a few down. The trailer might be misleading where we see like the Loki from the comic books recently, where he's up for mayor and all that shit. I don't think it's going to be Loki versus Loki at the very bitter end. I do think some real multiverse of madness shenanigans is going in. I think with the TVA might be slightly fucked at the end. Maybe they think all is well, but no, someone has diverted off under the radar. Maybe somehow been able to branch off as a variant in their own way, or just some more different realm shenanigans. Obviously, with Doctor Strange coming up and whatnot, and we still have to explain what Wanda did and how she connected to her kids and stuff. When the mom at the end. What have I written listed? Yes. I've written this down. Ravonna Renslayer, the judge, as the judge that determines, what's going to happen with Loki and stuff. She does as well. This is going back to my old conspiracy. My earlier on conspiracy. She has a connection to the Timekeepers and a massive connection to Kang. So in the show, she has a big connection to the Timekeepers. She obviously has some sort of communication with them. But in the comics, that character, usually known as a sort of like a B, C-lister, maybe even a D-lister, but she does have a connection to Kang the Conqueror. I swear to God, Kang is going to be doing some shenanigans in this. We've got a new Mephisto doing the rounds in this. Remember the stained glass window scene? And we all looked at that and I was like, oh my God, what a way for like just us fans to go, oh, Mephisto, because it was a demon devil looking guy in that stained glass window. Is that the end of my notes? It surely can't be. Is it? Yeah, it must be. Well, there you are. That's the end of my notes. I might as well screw them up now. But yes, Mephisto, hashtag, it's not Mephisto. Everybody's going to be doing the rounds again with that. It's Mephisto. I'll probably be doing the fucking same, to be honest, visuals. But yeah, that were my notes. That was my sort of breakdown. Hopefully this video might have been a little bit, this podcast, because it's better with Chris. We can have our back and forth now. But the episode was amazing. I can't wait to see how this carries on the franchise, the MCU further, because we know the next step, because we've established a TVA, we know time, space, different realms, all this, different planes of existence, all this shenanigans is going to go forward, and it's going to get fucking heavy and nuts. Long gone have the days now of just your typical, maybe not long gone, they probably still will bring it back from time to time, but the days of just your generic superhero film is, here's your good guy, here's your bad guy, the bad guy wants world domination, away we go. No, it's going to get a lot more complicated and complex, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see how the brilliant writers at Marvel and Disney and stuff get through this and get it all planned out. How Wanda's going to stem back into it again. I need a couple more episodes to really get the brain going. Even though I got the brain going with WandaVision, I could have talked for fucking ages about certain stuff that might happen and all, but about 10% of it I was right by. Because that was, honestly, I still think Mephisto was some part of that. I'm still holding on to that, even though it wasn't. But yeah, visuals, there we go. What was Peggy Carter doing? Because I believe that was Peggy Carter. Who was that in the hood at the end? Are we going to get Nightmare? What's Loki really going to do? Will we have Loki after this? Because by the sounds of it, after Loki's done what he's done, we will not get a Loki again in the future. At least not this Loki. Maybe there'll be a different Loki somewhere that deviates from the sacred timeline. So many questions already, not even any answers or close to any answers, and I'm sure when this finishes we're still not going to have many answers. Cannot wait, visuals. It's fucking amazing. Hopefully you didn't mind them a little review breakdown podcast there with just me, myself and I. And visuals, there we go. Chris will be back definitely next week because I'm not at work on a Saturday for the next 3 weeks, so he will be here breaking down episode 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 with me going forward in the future. But visuals, apart from that, go watch Loki if you haven't already, or if you have watched all this, then what the fuck. Go check out it again. Let me know any Easter eggs that I may have missed, because Jesus Christ, this is the kind of show that feels like you'll watch it 20 times and still miss loads. And let us know what you think, your early thoughts and opinions, and your own conspiracies and stuff. Visuals, that was the Visual Guys podcast, Loki episode 1 breakdown. Visuals, thanks for watching. Remember to keep being you and keep on keeping on.